Shalom, Diocese of Fort Worth. I'm Cariño Casas, the Executive Director of the Church's Ministry Among Jewish People, CMJ, USA. I'm so thankful for this opportunity to speak to you remotely. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas, so I'm sorry to miss this opportunity to visit my home state. People often ask how a Mexican American woman from the borderland ended up in Jewish ministry. And I want to tell you about a Bible translation I ran across almost 20 years ago called The Complete Jewish Bible. I had the privilege of growing up in Christian school and going to church since a toddler, but I had never seen Jesus fully in his Jewish context until I read this translation. When I read Matthew in this translation by a Jewish believer named David Stern, I felt like I was reading the gospel for the first time. And David Stern and his commentary have been very instrumental in helping me understand the Jewishness of Jesus and the Jewish context of the New Testament. And it led me to several questions, one of which is, why can't our Jewish neighbors see what we see clearly in the person of Jesus? But it also leads to the question, if Jesus is Jewish, does it still matter? Does Jesus' Jewishness still matter? And this painting here, called The White Crucifixion by Marc Chagall, really embodies the answer to this question. Marc Chagall was a Jewish painter who painted this in 1938 after Kristallnacht, a horrific anti-Semitic attack across Germany that destroyed most of its synagogues and inflicted terror on their Jewish neighbors. And here we see a painting of a Jewish village under attack. But in the middle of this scene, Chagall puts Jewish Jesus crucified. And for Chagall, Jesus was the ultimate Jewish martyr. And what I see here is a depiction of Isaiah 53, Jesus, the suffering servant, suffering with his Jewish people in the midst of anti-Semitism. We are called to imitate Jesus. And so this painting has been a challenge to me to step into the suffering of our Jewish neighbors in the midst of this rising anti-Semitism. Here we have the numbers of the last 10 years and how anti-Semitism has been on a steady increase and then skyrocketed in 2023 and 2024. And that is tied to the October 7th attack that Hamas inflicted on Israel and the subsequent war, which thank God is in a ceasefire. We continue to pray that the ceasefire holds. But what happened in the US and in Europe was people angry about the war, people angry at Israel, took it out on our Jewish neighbors and began attacking synagogues and attacking visibly Jewish people. Here in Pittsburgh, we saw students attacked on the way to Shabbat dinner. Orthodox Jews just punched in the face in New York for no reason other than they're Jewish. And this should grieve us. And we should be speaking comfort to our Jewish neighbors who right now are asking questions of whether they're safe here, they're anxious, they're fearful, and unsure of their place in American society. And so it is important for the church to speak comfort through genuine friendship, especially in this time. And we can do that through neighborliness, which is just saying hello, writing or calling the local rabbi and just introducing yourself and saying, how are you doing? How can we help you? Are you feeling safe? If you aren't, how can we help you feel safe? A great starting place is send a greeting card to your local synagogue. Figure out when Passover is, Rosh Hashanah, Hanukkah, and send a greeting card from your church or pastors. Send a greeting card, send an email, a phone call to the local rabbi, and just say that you're thinking about them and praying for them. We must approach with humility. Unfortunately, there is a lot of Christian anti-Semitism in our church history, and our Jewish neighbors often know that history better than we do. And it is important for us to approach with humility because oftentimes Jews, when they see a Christian coming to them, actually have a family story of Christian anti-Semitism from Europe or even from here in the States. And so they question, Is this person going to try to force me into something? And we must approach with humility, just as Jesus would. And we need to be present. We need to be visibly present amongst our Jewish neighbors. Find out if there's Jewish events, when there's commemorations or holidays, when the public is invited. Show up, be there, visibly Christian. Clergy, wear your collars and show up and say, I'm here to support, I'm here to stand with you. It goes a long way just to see that we are paying attention and that we're willing to spend some time with them. By being visibly Christian in Jewish spaces, we shine the light of Messiah to our Jewish neighbors. Not sure where to start? We have a tool called Bridge Builders Essentials. It is an introductory video course to equip local congregations and Christians to begin engaging with their Jewish neighbors. And the course looks at kingdom and the concept of kingdom in Judaism and how it appears in the New Testament, and the message of the king and the Jewishness of the gospel. It looks at Jewish culture and beliefs and care, the importance of remembrance for our Jewish neighbors, the barriers to Christian-Jewish engagement, and just a reminder to be a good listener. And we have another course that we are preparing called Emunah, which is the Hebrew word for faith. It's a 10-week dinner and discussion program geared to Jewish questions about God, the Messiah, and the meaning of life. We are hoping to be finished with this early in 2026. It's going to look at questions like, who is the God of Abraham? What is the Messiah? Who is Yeshua and why did he die? And can I know God? Please be praying for us. How can you pray? Pray for more churches across the U.S., but also there in your city, to have a heart for their Jewish neighbors, to care for them, especially in this time of rising anti-Semitism. Pray for our financial provision as we are looking to reach churches in all the major metros in the U.S., which is where our Jewish neighbors live, and for the finalization of the dinner and discussion program. We covet your prayers, and we're also looking for financial partners, both individual churches and even diocesan partners. Please consider adding CMJ to your missions budget as we are trying to stir up the church to love our Jewish neighbors well, to be Jesus with them as they're suffering through this anti-Semitism. Thank you for your time. Please visit our website, cmj-usa.org, for more information. Shalom.